Hey, what's up, everyone? If you are familiar with the Mandela Effect, then you probably already know this background that I've chosen for this video. The background is regarding reality shifts or glitches in the Matrix, and apparently there is an interesting link here where individuals share their experiences where they've experienced actual reality shifts like you and I experience. But what I'm going to be talking about for this video is some experiences from this evening that happened while we were driving down the road. We actually did get to go to town today and do one thing that we were hoping to be able to do and get something that we needed for the house. And so on our way back through, we heard this strange sound. We were all talking and talking about something, and we were just all just kind of into the conversation that we were having at the moment. It was like we were I don't remember. It was sort of like we were arguing over something. I don't remember what it was. Some kind of a crazy thing or some kind of a thing that had happened. But and the moment we were all talking about something, I forgot what it was. I wish I remembered what it was, but we were all talking. We hear all around us and behind us in the truck, we hear well, you know what a phone sounds like when it's ringing. When you're calling someone and you hear the phone ringing, and that's the sound we all heard. All three of us heard it. My parents and I both, we all heard it. This sound. And that brings me back to something. That sounds like the old Jimmy Fallon skit. Which brings me back to this, and brings me back to that, brings me back to this, and that brings me back to this. So great. Anyway, that brings me back to something that I experienced as a child. And also when I was older. I actually had an experience where when I was outside, I heard a tick, 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 tick. And then later on, I guess it was during, it was sometime between 6th and 8th grade, which were very, very difficult years for me. Middle school was awful for me. But the thing that happened was I heard this glitchy computer keyboard type sound around me, like from the sky. And it was like a computer sound. And many of you have looked into simulation theories and things, that where our creation source, God, has created a multiple simulation thing where all of us are in this one of many theories, that we are in the multiverse and these simulations and all kinds of various things like that, or glitches in the Matrix, glitches in reality, where there was this football player that everyone's seen, and it was recorded by people's devices, and they posted it to YouTube, where he just kind of glides. He glided. No one can glide like that in midair, fall backwards and get right back up without even, somehow or other he made himself be able to get right back up after falling, but not using his arms and legs. He just literally, he didn't use his arms and legs. He just went whoop right back up. And that's another situation that I witnessed as well as many people on YouTube. Football player breaks the rules of reality, the laws of physics, and defies the laws of physics, and has a glitch in the Matrix, a glitch in reality. That's what many people called it. But this background was chosen because of the multiverse theory and glitches in reality and things like that many people have experienced. But I wanted to share what we heard. And the first thing I thought was, well, look at the radio. No, the radio's not on. No one else's radio. It's not like they had an FM transmitter that happened to be on the station that we had it on, and they were, how those FM transmitters you use, the Bluetooth transmitters that transmit audio or whatever, and you can have the audio transmitted for phone calls and various things. or even, music and shows or movies. If I'm streaming something and I want to hear it in the vehicle on the radio, you can do that. But that's not what it was, because the radio was off. But it wasn't like, it didn't sound like it was coming from the vehicle next to us or someone behind us or beside us. Sometimes people have their windows down. You can hear them making a phone call, or you can hear them talking, or the other person on the radio. One thing that also looks crazy is, when you think about it, is people going down the road having a conversation, talking to nothing. If you look at the vehicle, all kinds of crazy things happen, by the way, but you see all kinds of crazy things in vehicles, but going on, all kinds of things. But one of the things that the dangerous things, though, one of which there are many other things, but one of which is texting and things that people are always doing to distract themselves. But even the radio is distracting. But the people are always doing something. But you see all kinds of things. But one of the things that you see is that people are having a conversation. It looks like they're talking to nothing. That looks hilarious. That looks literally hilarious when you see a conversation. People having a conversation with thin air. But it looks like, you just look like you're a crazy person sitting there just having a conversation. Do you ever just look to your other person? Maybe you're at a stoplight or a red light or something. And by the way, the stupid smart light, not the smart light, but the smart traffic light, the camera light, they call them a red light camera. They snapped right on us when we were way behind the line. We were sitting still and it snapped us. That light is notoriously known for snapping people's pictures and sending them a ticket for nothing. Even taking right turns on red. We were ticketed a long time ago for that. And they said, "Oh, you're not allowed to do that." Yes, you are. It's really stupid. Many people, they've sued over that light and it didn't do any good. But yeah, we heard that noise. That right all around us. All three of us heard it. And still can't explain it. I heard a noise. There was a noise similar to that coming from the hill, in just right out of the air. And it was like a and I think we're hearing frequencies, because the frequencies are heightening. And I heard that many times after 1 a.m. And it would happen between, well, actually it's 1 o'clock now. So from now to like 3:30 in the morning, you would hear this various sound it would go on for 30 seconds. And it would happen it would wait every 3 seconds to do it. And then it would be like, it was hard to explain. It would do that 6 times every, I can't remember, but it had a certain time to it that was quite strange. A certain timing to it. Maybe that has to do with frequencies. I remember talking about as a child, I said, the beings, the higher consciousness beings, they vibrated at a higher rate, vibrated at a higher state, their consciousness. And I was talking about that with my granny and my mama. I would tell them, and they said, "Well, what do you mean by that?" So my granny would say, "What do you mean by that?" And then she said, "That's what I thought. I just want to make sure you knew." My granny was very in tune to many things that people just don't have any idea. She was in tune to abilities and attuned to the spirit realm, spirituality, God, just everything. She was the beings. She knew about things, and she was very connected. Very similar to Native American Indians. Because my granny had it in her, I know, because her mother, my great-grandmother, was, on my mama's side, was Native American Indian. You could see Cherokee in her blood. You just knew it. You could see it. And she could see and hear things all the time. I'll share some of her stories in another video. Much love to my, rest in peace, to my great-grandmother and my granny as well. I was very close to them. But back to this topic, we all heard that sound in the vehicle, in the truck. It wasn't the radio, it wasn't the FM transmitters, or any of the FM transmitters, it wasn't anything that was logical. But I've also heard a sound that sounded like computer keyboard typing and computer glitching while I was outside. Tonight, I just heard a very loud rumbling. I heard the trumpet sounds in the sky today. I heard the boomings. There was a rumbling. And oh my goodness, I have several things that happened today. I'm going to do a rundown of them, an overview of them in a moment. This person went by me. Every time they went by, I'd hold my ears. There was a high frequency coming from them. And he would stare at me. And not only that, but there was the trumpet sounds in the sky today. And not only were there the trumpet sounds in the sky, but there were also boomings, rumblings, all kinds of things happening. Then we had that phone ringing sound. So that's a little of all the things that happened today. I'll make another video about it separately, breaking it all down in a moment. Peace. Thank you all for watching. And feel free to support me on PayPal. I do have a income and I don't have a job right now. I try to stay home and help my mama. We're going through some tough times. We haven't been making much income. Next week's going to be really rough, but we do the best we can. And I thank you all for support me on PayPal and Patreon. Subscribe, like this video, share with others, leave your comments below if you've had any similar, or if you just want to talk. My email is also below. Peace. Bye.